Shahid's huge on music. He's big on music. He's somebody who will dig into music. He'll go to the extent of telling the makers that, oh, listen, I want to sit with the composers and compose something. And he's very big on music. So I can tell you one thing. Not having heard from Shahid means that he has really loved the songs.
Oh. All your albums are very fresh from one another. It's very difficult for us. So, how are you guys able to stay so fresh with the music and discography that like it surprises people every time? How are you able to retain this freshness?
Actually, Yatamanyu, that is a very interesting observation, and that makes me very happy. And it makes you my favorite interviewer. It's an amazing web show. It's an amazing web show, and I cannot begin to tell you how cool Shahid is in it. Like we are going to see a completely new Shahid, and that's what I'm super excited.
And like how Sachin said, nothing's real, and Raj and DK were very sure about getting all these thoughts translated musically.
Right.
And that's why we've got some really cool stuff going on in the music, saying Mohabbat, Yari, Paisa, Imandari. छोड़ेंगे बारी बारी क्योंकि नियत सीरत फितरत सब फर्जी.
छोड़ो यार, कौन लिरिक राइटर के साथ बैठेगा, म्यूजिक कंपोजर के साथ बैठेगा. एक ऑलरेडी हिट गाना है, उसमें थोड़ा सा नया अरेंजमेंट लगा के उसको कर देते. So the remix cool making is clearly what? It's basically lack of perseverance and lack of belief in the process.
Right.
Now, when you say even the audiences like it, the audience is always going to choose between what the creators are giving them.
Yeah.
As creators, if we are giving them original music, then they'll choose the best between the original music. But if you're giving them, hit music and then original music, so they'll say, "Arey, ye zyada familiar hai." Music is not only a matter of study or a matter of serious appreciation or something that stays on your playlist. It's also for you to rejoice and dance and enjoy and for friends to come together and do Babaji ki booty.
Welcome to News 18 Showsha. I'm Yatamanyu Narain and I'm with the very talented musical duo Sachin and Jigar. इनका गाना सुनते हुए हम सब लोग बड़े हुए हैं. From Piya Ore Piya to Apna Bana Le Piya. And now they are getting up for the next big thing in the OTT ecosystem, which is Prime Video's Farzi. So hello Jigar and hello Sachin. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how stoked and excited are you for Farzi and why?
20.
Very, very stoked and excited because Raj and DK are our favorite directors. From Shore in the City to Go Go On to Happy Ending. Then we had Family Man and now this. So yes, all heart.
And from the trailer of Farzi, it seemed to be a very out of box, very quirky, very pulpy, sans comedy and dark with dark undertones. The whole drama and the whole comedy of it. So, how does the music add gravitas to this particular show?
Look, what you just spoke about the trailer, that actually is, in my understanding, the definition of Raj and DK. Okay, they are exactly that. They are whacked out, they are funny, and they have this sense of doing something out of the box every time. So you see, when you're thrown a premise like that, when the ask is, always has that sort of a quirk where Raj and DK, nothing is ever straightforward, I mean, just with them, there is scope to do something out of the box. And I think more than gravitas, our music is going to add spunk to the storytelling. And, there is grit in the show, in the main character's, portrayal. There is grit there. But what music is going to do is, like the narrative makes this very gritty, very dark life, so much spunky on the screen. Music is going to make them very yo and hip hop. And that's what is exciting me and Jigar, that with Raj and DK, there is always that room to musically explore one new genre or be able to tell a story, in far far more funkier way than usual.
Yeah.
And coming to the songs of Farzi, you have composed two songs, Sab Farzi and Paisa Hai To.
Yes.
Tell us something about them and the whole journey of creating it. And finally, when you got to share it with Raj and DK, with Shahid Kapoor and with Vijay Sethupathi, उनका भी क्या response था?
So basically, actually, there are three songs. The third song is not yet disclosed. The third song becomes a part of a certain episode,
Okay.
which is another hip hop song, like a very, very cool hip hop song. But for
Right.
these two songs, Raj and DK, especially for the Sab Farzi song, they wanted some a cool track with a lot of philosophy kind of
Yeah.
things in it.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember composing a song called Karma is a Bitch for Show in the City.
I remember.
Correct. So this song, they wanted that kind of a philosophy. And so coming to first, this song, so Priya came up with these lines saying, Pyar, yaar, paisa, sab farzi. And then it all added on saying that, okay, and Raj gave a great suggestion saying that I want to talk about the notes and the color of the notes. So the song starts in a very weird way. It says, red, blue, green, hai bandar teen, to sabki jeb bhar de. So it is, pretty much, and when I saw it with the video and how they cut it and all of it, I think their vision is very, very clear.
Yeah.
And, when we started doing Show in the City, that time alternate rock, and rock was pretty much the flavor of the season there. And now we've actually gone on to do hip hop, and this pretty much is a very old school EDM meets disco kind of a vibe.
Disco.
So, yeah. And we have Sabah to sing it. So, yeah.
How was that? How was working with Sabah?
Sachin, you want to say that?
Yeah, she's a fluid artist. She'll just walk in straight away get the vibe. She's a very cool artist to work with. Yeah, she's also, I feel like, in a strange way, I feel like she's a Gen Z,
right?
With the retro soul.
Yeah.
To my mind, I just
if
feel like
was born today, it would be her.
Yeah. So, and there's always some kind of a crazy energy with the Gen Z. It's they bring something so uniquely their own to the song. Like there's an individual taste each artist has, which is really amazing. As for me and Jigar, in a way, Sabah for me for this song is exactly what Shahid is for this web show. Otherwise you would have known Shahid as his lover boy, etc. But I've always liked him in this sort of gritty roles, And when you cast Shahid in a story like Farzi, I think it called for casting Sabah in the Farzi song. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's exactly what that's exactly what the song needed to do.
It was the right fit in like what you are trying to say. It's like everything was perfect, like from the casting of Shahid Kapoor to Sabah Azhar to
yes, and with Raj and DK, I think we really get the freedom to go all out. And the minute that part was composed, that la 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 la, they immediately thought, oh, okay, this is going to play up at so many places in the show. And but we need a very old school voice, which is not old school. And then we had only one option, but Sabah. So yeah,
right.
That's how. And
what
the
was
other song?
Yeah, the other song, Paisa.
Yeah, Paisa Hai To. So now this song, the brief was very clear that we want to try and make a song about money.
Yeah.
Show the money, or our 2022 version of a money song.
Money song. Okay.
Yes. And again, both these Raj and DK have every time they say something, they say that okay, it cannot be without any philosophy, or it cannot be. So it is fun. It says paisa hai to badi badi baatein, paisa hai to lambi lambi raatein, paisa hai to 5-star mulaqatein, but paisa hai to gali ya bhi sare maang khate. If you have money, everyone's going to invite you to even abuse them. That's the power of money. And I am pretty excited to see how this song is received, because I think it's been long due a money song from our team.
And what was the reaction of Shahid Kapoor and Vijay Sethupathi when they heard the song?
See, when we are working with Raj and DK, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to say this, that it is about me, Jigar, Raj and DK. All the creative calls are taken here. But having said that, I tell you that Shahid's huge on music. He's big on music. He's somebody who will dig into music. He'll go to the extent of telling the makers that, oh, listen, I want to sit with the composers and compose something. And he's very big on music. So I can tell you one thing. Not having heard from Shahid means that he has really loved the songs.
Yeah. And Raj told us one day that he played it to them and the reaction was superb. They loved it. Also because everyone connected to the series kind of knows how this song is going to work for the series. And the Raj and DK are very, very extremely pure people. Extremely pure people. So they wouldn't go to find a hit song if it doesn't work for the series.
Right.
And all of us believe that if it works for the premise, in the longer run, it will work for the audio. Like how our Family Man theme was very, very out of the box, rap meets rag kind of a theme.
Yeah.
Which slowly found popularity, and it became the role. It played the role that a music theme needs to play in a series. But this time, I think with these two songs, we've gone a notch commercial. And and Vishal has sung it like superb, and we have Melu who's rapped on it. So I think we have a good team, we have a good song. We want to see how it's being perceived and received.
Interesting. And something that I really like about you guys is the fact that the music is quite distinctive from one album to another. Just like I can identify Vishal Bharadwaj's music, like I can identify Pritam's music, Rahman's music. But with you guys, it's very difficult for me to pinpoint. Like if I'm sitting in a car with my father and your song is being played on the radio, so even I get confused कि ये Sachin-Jigar hai, because it's all your albums are very fresh from one another. It's very difficult for us. So how are you guys able to stay so fresh with the music and discography that it surprises people every time? How are you able to retain this freshness?
Actually, Yatamanyu, that is a very interesting observation, and that makes me very happy, and it makes you my favorite interviewer. Okay, I'll just tell you this, bro. We also come from the sort of a theater learning. Our primary work, let's say 20 years we worked in theater, all kinds of theater, street theater, Prithvi theater, Gujarati theater, Hindi theater, English theater. So, something you learn there upfront is that script is the my-bap of everything. It is the nucleus of the media piece that you're working on. And I feel, why we are able to, do different things is primarily because luckily we've been blessed with the opportunity to work on different scripts. Now you see, like a Farzi might be similar to Shore in the City because of the makers, but you see Shore in the City is a whole different script. And Farzi is completely different. So you see the script itself has to motivate you to be different. I mean, if me and Jigar were to impose our styles on everything we worked, I think perhaps it would make me and Jigar very unhappy. It would definitely make Jigar unhappy because between me and him, Jigar is further, one notch more rebel when it comes to, trying to strike a different, soundscape, etc. He's very, very bullish about that. He always wants for me and him to be able to crack at least a new soundscape. So I think that not being able to be identified is a great boon because then you can be anyone and you're not carrying the weight of your brand. You're just only carrying the weight of the narrative or maybe lightening the weight of narrative. So we enjoy that. And About Farzi, I want to tell you this, Yatamanyu, that every Raj and DK film, or every good film for that matter, or every good web show will leave you with one thought, one moral, and Farzi leaves you with one thought that really nothing is real.
Okay.
Yeah, and that amongst everything that you almost get stuck onto life, I think the most fake of them all is greed. So it's an amazing web show. It's an amazing web show, and I cannot begin to tell you how cool Shahid is in it. Like we are going to see a completely new Shahid, and that's what I'm super excited.
And like how Sachin said, nothing's real, and Raj and DK were very sure about getting all these thoughts translated musically.
Right.
And that's why we've got some really cool stuff going on in the music, saying Mohabbat, Yari, Paisa, Imandari, सब छोड़ेंगे बारी बारी, क्योंकि नियत सीरत फितरत सब फर्जी. So it is like, if you want to sum up the show, those are your lines.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And coming to your question of how are we able to do this, undo our own brand every time, I call it like that, is because every, I was a very big fan of Coldplay. I am a very big fan of Coldplay.
Okay.
And when I heard Yellow, I thought, oh my God, this is something that rightly pierces through my heart. And when they did Sky Full of Stars, I thought, oh, wasn't this supposed to be like a singer-songwriter, alternate guitar kind of a band?
Yeah.
And they are doing all EDM. And they further that thing with every album. And that's when I realized that what we were also trying to do is not stick to anything, that could bind music. I think music is universal, and we want to be able to approach every album as a newcomer. And so I think that's precisely why Apna Bana Le is the way it is today. Or if you would have made Cyber today, it would have been probably in another way. And that is why the album of Farzi is what it is. And with Raj and DK, we are always excited to go ahead, to expand and to push and to imagine a certain sound coming in next year. So when you hear these 3 songs, the third song being Fark Nahi Padta, you'll hear it in the web show.
Okay.
And you see that, okay, maybe these guys are trying to do something.
And like we talked about the passion originality of musical scores, what are your thoughts on the remake culture that is currently there in the industry? Is it good? Is it bad? Does it act as a deterrent to the originality? Because people seem to be very divided on this. Some like it, some don't. So, like, have you ever been requested to remake an iconic song? And what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Yatamanyu, it's been a wonderful interview so far. I think answering this question is going to be a waste of our time. Okay, I don't want to be rude. I just want to tell you this. There is always 2 thoughts of content making. One thought of content making is super hit maal banate.
Right.
Okay. So the creator has already taken the weight of the audience also.
Right.
वो बनाते हुए audience का काम भी कर रहा है. मतलब while making only thinking मैं hits कैसे बनाऊं.
Right.
For that school, which me and Jigar call as a popcorn school of content making, they want for it to come and make a short impact and grab the eyeballs and the attention. Okay, and it used to work even for Bollywood when we were wondering about कि यार weekend कितने का मारा film ने. So that sort of a school making films, they want a song that will come and guarantee them a hit. So what they do is कि छोड़ो यार कौन लिरिक राइटर के साथ बैठेगा, म्यूजिक कंपोजर के साथ बैठेगा, एक ऑलरेडी हिट गाना है उसमें थोड़ा सा नया अरेंजमेंट लगा के उसको कर देते. So the remake school making is clearly what? It's basically lack of perseverance and lack of belief in the process.
Right.
Now, when you say even the audiences like it, the audience is always going to choose between what the creators are giving them.
Yeah.
As creators, if we are giving them original music, then they'll choose the best between the original music. But if you're giving them, hit music and then original music, so they'll say, "Arey, ye zyada familiar hai." So audience is always correct, है ना? As creators, we will have to take responsibility कि भैया ये नहीं करना है.
Right.
But that can happen only when the whole team believes that, okay, we'll sit together, we'll crack something, we'll crack a new soundscape, etc., etc. And for those who have done well in the remake business, I will say उनका भी तो बहुत उन्होंने भी अच्छा काम किया है. और that's also not easy. And we have been asked to, remake, songs when we are doing the whole album. वो एक गाना कोई और रीमेक करके सब कुछ ले जाए, उससे अच्छा कि उसको हमने कर लिया रीमेक.
I think that phase is now slowly going down. I want to believe it's going down.
Yeah.
But there were times when we did the whole album, and then the producer would want to push the remake, and we kind of let go for a couple of times and realized that okay, the remake is the only song that's going to be promoted.
Yeah.
Also, that kind of challenged our inner self that okay, are we not capable of doing a remake, or is it a talent that we don't possess?
Yeah.
So we had to for ourselves identify that, and for that we did a couple of remakes. One of them being Nadiyo Paar, and another one being Don't Be Shy. We did a couple of remakes only to know that okay, we can, but I think there are people who can do it better than us, and we'd rather take time and stick to our process of trying to crack a song, which is a very meticulous process. I think sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. We've been working on a song for 20 days and we don't have something right now. And I think that is what we want to do. And that said, if a certain album requires a remake to be a part of the film, which expands the narrative, like if we are doing a period film, which requires a remake, we'll do it with all our strength.
Right.
But I still really believe that there are people who can do it better, and it is a very, very difficult process. And I think it is a talent in its own. So, big salute to everyone who's been able to do it successfully as well.
And now your music also borrows a lot from the folk music of India, especially folk music of Rajasthan and Gujarat predominantly. So coming from a musical family myself, I understand how important is it to retain that legacy.
What did Spanish people do? They did just the same.
Yeah.
What is Despacito? It's the same thing.
Same, yeah.
Right? But when we do it, we feel like, अरे क्या किया है यार, Indian tradition को mix किया, मतलब, हाँ? But it's not. That's the way. If you want to make your music,
right?
If you want to play it at a global stage, if you want to represent your culture at a world level, then that is very natural. Huh? You finding folk strains in our music, वो खून में कुछ नहीं कर सकते. वो खाना खाने बैठो तो दाल रोटी सब्जी चाहिए, वैसा है वो. I mean, in somewhere, I will not be shy of telling you that while making a song, me and Jigar, even just for dummy lyrics, think of the song in Gujarati.
Oh.
I completely love how desi I am, and that is the best part about me, that I can be in London, and still be myself. I can be in Gujarat and still be myself. So it's only fair that you own yourself, and you celebrate what you have, because world over, the artists we know, we love, they are celebrating their own. It's time we own ourselves.
And like you two have been in the industry for a very long time, and you have seen the musical landscape change drastically from the time when you started and now. So comparing tab ka music with aaj ka music, what is that one thing that you absolutely like and one thing that you don't like?
Okay, so one thing, before going to that, let me tell you one thing that both of us have stood by all through this is being honest. Yeah. I think we've never done a song which we've not felt. We've never done a song to be a part of the race. or we've never done a song because someone else has done a song like that and that has been working. We've always done what our hearts have felt at that point. So what we have stood by is actually just being honest to our art and our craft, while making sure that the producer or the producer doesn't feel that I don't have my hit song, and the director doesn't feel that the song has spoiled my film, because that these are the two main worries of two important people in the line of business. Uh, Keeping those two in mind, we've tried to stay as true to our art as we can and as honest to our art as we can.
Yeah.
Now, from the time we started, I think when we first did Party Bhi Baki Hai,
Yeah.
when we took a song that Abhi Saath, at that point of time in 2010, dance music meant Bhangra.
Yeah.
It meant, and we decided we wanted to do hip hop. And a lot of people that at that point told us, अरे इसमें कोई beat ही नहीं है, इसमें एक ही loop चल रहा है, इसमें क्या हो रहा है, कोई tune ही नहीं है. But at that point, we wanted to do hip hop. We really thought we wanted to do hip hop, and then we had hardcore along with us. So we went all out, not even fusing it. It was pretty pure, like a sing song rap kind of song.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, a lot of songs came with the word party in it, And when there were again the songs that became big in 2010, the love songs, were all the tabla dholak songs. At that point, Raj and DK met us and they said, let's just do a song with a piano and a little bit of drums, riding high on melody. And that's when Cyber was born, So starting from there, I think we've seen a lot of phases coming and going. There was a big time when, like this whole Honey Singh era came.
Yeah.
Which was great because the kind of dance music that happened, super. After that, the remake era.
Yeah.
And after that, now something else will come. But all we want to say is that all through this, what has remained constant is the faith of our producers and directors and our honesty towards our craft. So no matter in all these phases, even when the Honey Singh songs were doing pretty well, we made Babaji Ki Puti and Raat Hai Kapoor. And all during the remake times, we were able to make songs like Milya Milya, Milegi Milegi, and Nazar Na Lag Jaye. And now the Bhediya album, and now going to Farzi. So I think we've tried to retain our originality and our stride of reinventing ourselves with every album. But I can tell you, it's a tremendously exciting process to able to see how world reacts to a certain music. It becomes a phase, and they adapt it, they accept it, and then they let go of it. So the only way to not let go of your music is to stay adaptable all the time, and that answers your earlier question: why do we keep reinventing?
Yeah, like I have also noticed that your songs have become love anthems, festival anthems, and even birthday party jams. For example, your song "Happy Birthday," like every birthday party that I go to, that the party is complete without that song. Or for instance, Vande Mataram, which has been played on Public Day, then it was even played in my. So, how does it feel to be a part of India's celebration?
Listen, it's very important to identify your audience.
Yeah.
And then to imbibe the need of the script.
Right.
These two things are prima facie to scoring music for content. Okay, if you're an independent composer, you will wake up one day, you will sip chai and you will feel like, "Aaj mera mood ye hai," and then you make a song like that.
Right.
So when you are composing for a film or for a web show, then it's important to identify the audience and the core of the content.
Yeah.
And then let's say then when you're talking about Vande Mataram, that was there in ABCD.
Right.
Now you see the sort of pride that a guy feels to hoist his flag in an international competition of boys who have come from nowhere. Now imagine that pride. That pride is being translated in that song. When you're talking about a birthday song is about It's about silly things. It's about funny things. It's about celebrating. So I think if just like Jigar said, yeah, I mean you got to be true to the ask there. And another thing we realize is that music is not only a matter of study or a matter of serious appreciation or something that stays on your playlist. It's also for you to rejoice and dance and enjoy and for friends to come together and do Babaji ki booty or so when you what do you call, when you embrace the fact that you're going to be part of somebody's party, then I think these things will follow.
I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for giving us your time and best of luck for Farzi. And I'm really, really looking forward to hearing the new song that hasn't been released and more amazing stuff from you guys.
Thank you so much.